Here, everybody. Woohoo! It's 2025. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves in whatever way you wanted to celebrate last night. Um, my husband and I fell asleep watching a movie and we missed the entire thing. But anyway, there you have it. So what happens when you get old? What can I say? Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Today is, as you know, January the 1st, and it's a really important portal. And so we're going to do some readings for the January 1st portal. I was just going to do something, and now I forgot what I was going to do. I'm telling you, friends, there are days. There are days. Anyways, moving on from that. So let's say hi to some folks that have popped in. Louise is here. Hello, Louise. Happy New Year, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Maria is here. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Gina's Place is here. Good to see you, Gina. Hope you're doing well. Ziggy B, Happy New Year, my friend. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everyone's support. Please make sure that you hit that thumbs up. Bell notification, subscribe, all of the things that help all of the YouTube channels that you watch. We won't be taking specific questions, Maria. We're doing one portal readings today, but if you have a question, I can try to answer it within the reading that I'm doing. So pop it in the chat and let's get going. What are you guys up to today? Last night we try to always have like a really nice meal on New Year's Eve. And of course that didn't happen. So that's tonight's meal. So I'm looking forward to that. We don't really do a whole lot for New Year's. It's kind of like down, like really low key for us. And we just really enjoy just, being warm and being cozy because of course the temperature is rising, meaning or dipping. It's getting lower. That's the right way to say it. It's getting colder here, and we are expecting another 30 centimeters of snow. So easy conversion. It's about 12 to 15 inches of snow. So anyway, moving on. So Maria says, I'm wondering what is going to happen with my love life in 2025. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy being here. We're happy to have you here. Thank you, Maria. That's very kind of you to say. So if you want a reading, pop it in the chat. Let's just talk about what the 1-1 portal is all about. So each day, when the numbers are the same for the 12 months, so 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, etc., those days are referred to as portals. They are energetic portals, right? The 1-1 portal is a claim of spiritual significance, not only in numerology, but also in the idea of new beginnings, right? The 1 represents newness and new starts and this sort of like new phase of personal growth. So a couple of things that they say. 1-1 portal is said to invite new opportunities and beginnings. Some say the 1-1 portal is a good day to manifest your dreams and desires. When you put the 1 and the 1 together to make, like 11, for example, that numerology is considered a master number, and it's associated with spiritual enlightenment, intuition, and I have to move my note up so I don't forget everything, and illumination. The 1-1 portal is said to be a day when you can co-create your dream reality with the universe, because we're using the energy of the portal. And so I thought that was really interesting. Yes, so how they talk about making your intentions and your goals and your New Year's resolutions. Today is a day when you can really use the energy of the portal to bring those things to fruition. So yes, absolutely yes. All right, so I've got 4 decks of cards out. I have the Sacred Forest Oracle. I have the Sacred Medicine Oracle. I have the Messages from the Spirits of Nature Oracle. And I also have the Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians deck. And I thought we would do the 4 direction spread, which I sort of like that for like energy type readings. It seems to work well for me. And so I will pick either one from each deck or just one deck while I'm doing it. If you have a preference, put number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4 in your request for the reading and let me know which deck you want. And I will choose that one. Otherwise, it's dealer's choice, as they call it. All right, so here we go. For entertainment purposes only, let's do Maria, since Maria is the only person who's asked for a reading so far. So Maria is wondering what is going to happen with her love life in 2025. Maria, let me know if you want deck 1, 2, 3, or 4, or do you want me just to choose? Do you want me just to choose? You choose? Okay. For anyone who's wondering, I'll be back live this coming Sunday, and at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do the Zodiac readings. Ivana Intuitive will join me, so I look forward to that. There's lots of things posted on the channel already, so make sure that you check that out. The daily videos and Sunday Oracle message, the weekend readings, all of that stuff will resume on Monday, this coming Monday. All right, Maria, here we go. So card number 1 is the East card. Okay, the East card is the place of the rising sun. It represents springtime in this spread. And so this card reveals what's beginning in your life, right? What needs to begin, or what you need to continue to search for or explore further. Okay. And we've got Leah and Stand Your Ground. So the thing that you are beginning and the thing that you need to continue to work on in 2025 is standing your ground, right? Keeping your feet firmly planted on the ground, building that foundation, and finding that place where you feel empowered, right? Card number 2 is the South card. The South represents the summertime. This card reveals what is expanding in your life. So this is what you should be growing or working towards. Okay. And I'm horrible at pronouncing these names, so forgive me if I butcher them. This is Ocean and Sweet Success. So those two things are going hand in hand, right? Building that solid foundation that then takes you to the next step where you feel accomplished, right? You feel seen, you feel heard. There's a sense of achievement and victory in that, okay? Card number 3 is the West card. The West represents the setting sun and the season of autumn. So this card reveals what you're harvesting or gathering, right? Which you need to release or clear out of your life. So think of that little statement as like when you switch your clothes over for the season, right? Or for the seasons, you end up, donating or getting rid of some clothes and buying new pieces, right? And we have the Thoth and Divine Masculine. Now, I think that this is especially important for you, given the question and given, the other readings that I've done and the other things that you shared. This to me represents, the relationship that you have with masculine energies and how you're going to navigate that going forward. Keep in mind what we've already revealed, and that is that you're learning to build that foundation where you are empowered and feeling that you are heard and that you are seen, right? That you're standing singularly alone and you are enough, right? The North card represents the dark of night, which is wintertime. And this card reveals what we need to consolidate or nurture, right? So the thing that we need to embrace or what we need to repair or heal. And you have Athena and wise decision. So to me, this is your gut instinct, right? When your inner knowing, when your intuition, your gut instinct, when your little voice in your head tells you something, you need to pay heed to it, right? You need to listen to it. Don't ignore it. Don't push it down. Don't dismiss it. Hear it. Doesn't mean you have to act upon it, but you should stop and pay attention to it, right? Work that muscle, because everybody has a gut instinct. Everyone has an inner knowing, and that gut instinct and that inner knowing is your compass, right? That's what guides you. That's how you navigate. And so in order for me to make this about the question that you asked, you need to work on yourself first and foremost, right? You have to love yourself in order to love something else and appreciate it fully, right? You want to love someone else the same way that you love yourself. And you want to be loved in the same way that you love and appreciate yourself. So you work on that first, building that foundation, empowering yourself, feeling seen and heard and appreciated, right? Then you go to the relationship and you're like, okay, now I know what I want, what I don't, what I need, what I don't, etc., right? And always listen to your gut instinct, because it's going to tell you what works, what doesn't, what's right, what's not. So I hope that that's helpful. I cannot force him to stop changing or stop watching and force him to act another way. I can only change myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if I may, I'm just going to go there because I'm an honest person. And when I see something or I hear something or I feel something, I need to say it. So that particular thing that you said, yeah, I cannot force him to stop watching. What about that? Maybe it's that, the masculine energy, whichever card that was now, this one here. What about that bothers you? And I'm not saying to share it here. I'm saying to think about that as you navigate, right? What about that makes you feel some sort of way? Right? And I'm not saying that's the only thing, but if that's a thing, then try to figure out why that makes you feel some sort of way. Because when you know that, then you can work with it, right? If you just react to it, it's really hard to sort of, figure out how to go from there. Now there's always like a thing in the middle of the room, right? It's always like a problem. Do you understand what I mean? And I'm not saying that you should not react to that or you should react to that. I'm saying everyone would react to that differently. And you need to figure out why that bothers you and in what ways that bothers you, right? What is the reaction that you get from that, that thing that happens? And then use that to figure out how you're going to work with it or work around it or Get rid of it. You're very kind, my friend. Thank you for being so honest and for asking the question. It's hard, I know, to put yourself out there and to ask questions like that and share things. But I appreciate you trusting me with that information. All right. Anybody else who wants a reading? It's going to be a very short live stream. If nobody else wants a reading, which is fine. I get it. Listen, it's 2025 and we can't believe we're here and we don't know what's in store for us. Most of us are like, oh my gosh, can you believe it? And it's a lot. But just as I said to Maria, and I don't think that I'm alone in this, not only spiritually, but also just logically, it makes sense to me that if we work on ourselves, if we focus on ourselves, if we try to make ourselves the best version of ourselves that we can be, then we can go out into the world, handle the chaos, the confusion, the whatever, with confidence, right? Because we have done all of the work that we need to do, right? We are strong and we are capable and we are persevering, and we've got our super cape on and we're grounded and we're aligned and all of the things, right? We have perspective and we're open and we come from a place of understanding and gratitude, right? I just personally think that makes sense spiritually and logically, given the world that we sort of reside in at this time. Yes, I can talk more about that. Gina says, hi, Kelly. I'm now entering into my heart-based life. All areas of my life come down to my core beliefs and my genuine self. Do you see anything that I should pay particular attention to this year? I love this question. So let's do a 4-direction spread for you and see what we get. Do you have a particular deck that you want me to use, Gina? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And we'll see where we go. Oh, my neck is so sore, you guys. Of course. Just let me know what deck you want me to use, Gina, or I'll pick one. Action. I feel like I want to use the Sacred Medicine Oracle for you. Does that work for you? Oh, okay. Sacred Forest, Sacred Medicine Oracle, Messages of the Spirits of Nature Oracle. It's the longest name ever. Gods, Guardians, and Goddesses deck. I think I want to use this one, the Sacred Medicine Oracle. Do you? Excellent. All right. Gina. That one came out already. Hi, Nancy. Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year. All right. So, again, card number 1 is the card from the east, right? The place of the rising sun. It reveals what is beginning in our life. So what you need to bring towards you, or what you need to further explore, right? Basically what you're working on. Okay. And you have the Mino walk in a good way. Okay. So this is the path that you're on. This is, to me, speaking about enjoying the journey, right? It is about like really like a twofold thing, right? Like I've got my eye on the destination, but I am open. My perspective, my understanding is open, that I want to take in everything as I put one foot in front of the other, right? So being open to explore one step in front of the other, because it's not just about the destination. A lot of the beauty comes from the journey itself, right? It feels like that to me. Okay. The next card is the South card. The South represents the sun and summertime, and this reveals what is expanding in our life. So what we are growing and working towards. Past life medicine and remembering. So when you say you're entering into your heart-based life, right? All areas of my life come down to my core beliefs and my genuine self. Your self is made up of not only things that have happened in your past, lessons that you've learned, that's formed you, right? But also from past lives. And it's about, this card, I think, is about bringing those lessons forward, right? I know what works, what doesn't. I know how I've reacted. What do I need to, strengthen? What do I need to release? All of that kind of stuff, right? Past life medicine and remembering. The third card is the West card. The West card represents the setting sun, season of autumn, and it is the card that reveals what we are harvesting or gathering. Also represents what we need to release or clear out of our life. And you have Spider Woman and Destiny. How beautiful is this card? Just look at it. We all have a vision for ourselves, right? An idea of where we want to go, of the destination, right? The dream. There's something about the spider web that looks to me like a dream weaver, which is what's on the front of these cards. Pay attention to your dreams, listen to your dreams, and allow yourself to dream. And continue to do that to fulfill your destiny, right? Because third eye-ish kind of way, you are mentally putting that out there, if that makes sense what I'm trying to say, right? It's like you're going to get validation in your dreams and a continuation in your dreams of where you're going and how it's all playing out. And I don't know how else to explain it, but have you ever like wanted to rearrange the furniture in your room, your living room, whatever, or redesign your house, and you close your eyes and before you're going to sleep or something like that, and you change it all around? That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is like a vision board, but in before you go to sleep, right? Card number 4 is the North card. The North represents the dark of night, which is wintertime. And this card reveals what you need to consolidate or nurture, also what you need to repair or heal. I love this for you. Look at this card. You've got the spring, equinox, eagle, and flight. This is soaring. This is sky's the limit. This is freedom. It's peace. It's power and empowerment. It is, spreading your wings and aiming for the sky and not letting anything get in your way. What a lovely reading, considering your question, right? Is there anything particular that you need to pay attention to this year? All you need to pay attention to this year is the journey itself and being open to any lessons that are put in front of you. Knowing that when you arrive, it's going to be magical. It's going to be magnificent. It's going to be impactful. And my takeaway for that reading is the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. What an awesome way to start the new year. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Thank you so much. Friends, I just want to say a quick shout out to Sharon Sipe. She is an amazing moderator. She volunteers her time. She does this, all this work for all these channels. Many of us would be lost without you. Thank you so much, Sharon Sipe, from me to you for all that you do for myself as well as many, many other channels. Nancy Riker is here. Kieran is here. So hopefully that made sense to you, Gina. Nancy wants a reading and Kieran wants a reading. Kieran says, how can I make my boss think I'm worth keeping? I like working in his clinic, but been behind on work. All right. My husband's in the chat as well. So we're doing these 4 direction spreads, and I'll try to answer your question within that parameter. Okay. So let's go with. I've lost the spread. There we go. All right, let's go with. Let's go with this guy here. When a card flips over inside the deck, that is a sign that Spirit wants you to pull that card. And then you had a jumper at the end. All right. Oh, thank you, Nancy. You're very kind, my friend. Appreciate you. And appreciate you saying so. All right, Kieran, here we go. Card number 1 is the East card. This card represents the rising sun and the springtime. It reveals what is beginning in your life, right? So what you need to work on or explore further, okay? Moonlight Enchantment. Now, you can't see this really well, but there, if I tip the card, you can see it says magic, okay? And I don't want to say like that's the end of your reading, but this answers the question for me that you asked. How can I make my boss think I'm worth keeping? Show him why you are worth keeping. Give him a little Kieran magic, right? Show your boss who you are and what kind of an asset you are. Gina, thank you. That's very kind. Thank you, my friend. Blessings. Very kind of you. That. Work on and explore further, showing why you should be the person there. Okay, the second card is the card of the South. It represents the sun and summertime. This card reveals what is expanding in your life. So what you should be working towards, growing. If you think about the garden, right? We've got the bear spirit and healing. Okay. So I'm just going out on a limb here, and I'm going to say to you, unless your boss has come out and said to you, Karen, I'm not happy with your performance right now, then you need to get that out of your head, because that thought in the back of your mind is doing you a disservice, right? It is making you, negative. It is making you paranoid. It's making you nervous. And you can't be focused and concentrating and doing a 100% all in, job if you are thinking that any minute someone's going to walk up to you, tap you on the shoulder, and say, you're out. Like, that's really stressful. And so you've got to release that. You've got to let that go. Maybe consider having a discussion with your boss, right? Asking your boss, is there something that I can do? Is there something, else that you might like me to do? Is there something that I could work on? Just an idea. But you've got to embrace yourself and hold on to yourself and encourage yourself so that you can work without those elements. Because here's the thing. You know what kind of job you're doing. You know whether you're putting in 100% or you're not putting in 100%. It doesn't matter what I say, what the boss says, what Bob says, what Fred says, right? You know what you're doing. And if you're not putting in 100%, you need to figure out why, right? Thank you, Karen. Many blessings. Very grateful. Thank you so much, everybody. My goodness. Happy New Year. Card number 3 is the West card. The West represents the setting sun and also the season of autumn. So this card reveals what you're harvesting or gathering. It can also represent what you need to release or clear out of your life. So think about when you clean out the closet or change your clothes, as the seasons change, right? You purge, you merge, you throw stuff out, you buy new stuff, etc. Okay? We've got the Spirit Guardian of Winter and Retreat. So I'm feeling this like I'm really down on myself. I'm really like it's making me really nervous. And this is not helping me. Like, I can't function. I can't focus. I can't put all of myself into what I want to do. And I go back to the first card. You really want to do this. You are more than capable of being, employee of the month kind of thing. But you've got some stuff that is getting in the way, right? You've got some stuff that's getting in the way. And I dare say that it is that this feeling that I've been convinced that what I'm doing is not good enough, right? So the last card is the North card, which represents the wintertime. This card reveals what you need to consolidate or nurture, right? So the thing that you need to embrace, the thing that you need to hold on to, or the thing that you need to repair or heal. And whoops, I'm showing you the back of the card. That's less than stellar. We've got the Enchanted Fern Grotto and Refuge. Okay, so you've got healing and retreat. When you've got this negative energy, this weight, this, just like this feeling, you've got to find a place to let it go. Like, let it go. So you need to do stuff to boost that, to counteract that, to oppose it, if you will, right? You want think of the Justice card and the scales. You want those scales as even as possible to invite that harmony in, right? And so you need to find solace, whether it's journaling, whether it's, you're burning a candle and you're just staring at it, whether it's manifesting, create a vision board, whatever it is, taking a walk outside, reading a book, bubble bath, all of those things. All of those things can take away the negative energy, the weight, that it holds on and release that to invite newness in. Today is the perfect day to do that, right? The 1-1 portal is all about new beginnings, clean slate, fresh start, right? Now, I notice that Gina says, Kieran, please consider manifesting your good employee self by focusing on the good job you're doing today and will continue to do, right? Great idea. Here's the point. When I read that, I thought, yes, you came here and you asked the question. That means you want to change it. So do yourself the favor of saying, today I'm going to change it. So I'm going to try to get rid of whatever weight I'm holding on, this idea that I'm going to get fired, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not trying hard enough, and I'm going to go in the next time I'm scheduled to work with a new attitude and show them why I am employed there, right? Show them a little bit of Kieran magic. The truth of the matter is that we can't be superheroes and superhuman if we're not taking good care of ourselves. It's like the car maintenance, right? You want to do the tune-up on the car so that the car operates at optimum speed and optimum quality all of the time, right? Thank you so very much again for the donations, you guys. I'm like a little bit stunned. All right, so Nancy Riker is up next, and she says, can I have a reading? Of course you can. So the only deck I haven't chosen so far is the Spirits of Nature. So I'm going to go with that one. And I hope I haven't missed anybody. Sharon Sipe, my husband's in here. I think Gina said something. There she is. She says, thank you, Kelly. Your reading truly reflects my feelings about my life. I love the journey, and I'm thankful for the challenges because they reflect Spirit's trust in me to do my best with them 100%. You know, I say that often here, and I have quite an issue trusting myself due to my anxiety panic disorder. I got so down on myself that I didn't think that I was worthy of trusting, right? Because I wasn't really in control of my stuff. I couldn't get my shit together, for lack of a better way to say it, friends. Anywho, it wasn't until I came here and started this channel and started reading cards that because, as you all know, I never read cards. I never owned any cards. I didn't know that I had any kind of connection to Spirit until I started this channel. And that happened in real time in front of everybody. And anyhow, long story short, you know, it came to me one day that if you come in here and you ask me these kinds of questions and you trust me to give you what you need, you trust me by you showing up and sharing and you showing up and asking a question to me, that is a sign of trust, right? If you're putting your faith in me, then I can put my faith in Spirit. It's a two-way street, right? And that's how I approach trust. And when I came here and started reading, and when I came to that epiphany that you trust me, I trust Spirit, all of a sudden, trust was a non-issue for me. It's hard to trust ourselves. But when you question yourself, take a moment and ask why. Why do you not trust yourself? And think about how many times can you recall that you let yourself down. I dare say it's not that many. It's a preconceived kind of thing, right? Because we only remember negative stuff. We only remember bad stuff. We don't remember positive things or good things. They're short term, right? And we need to, all of us, collectively work on that, where the good stuff remains and the bad stuff goes away. All right, let's go to Nancy. Sorry, I got sidetracked, friends. 100%, Gina. Well said, my friend. Absolutely. I don't believe in mistakes. I don't believe in regrets, because why? Every single thing has landed me to this point, and this point's fabulous, and I'm good with it. I don't know what's going to be next. I'm here, though. I'm looking forward to it. Whatever it is, I'm ready for it. But personally, if I think about all of the bad choices and the bad decisions and the bad times and the challenges, etc., I will get really negative and I will reside there. Because I have anxiety panic disorder, I cannot do that. So I don't look at it that way. All right, Nancy, here we go, my love. Oh, I love this card. So the East card is the card that represents the rising sun and represents springtime. This card reveals what is beginning in our life, what we need to start or to explore further if you're already doing it. And you have, look at these glorious images. I love the artwork in this deck. You have the river and flow. So beginning to and to continue to always work on going with the flow, to everyone who's listening. One of those things that is way easier said than done, going with the flow, can be quite challenging depending on, your river. Oh, I love this for you. I love this for you. The South card represents the sun and summertime. This card reveals what is expanding in your life. This is what you should be growing and working towards. So look at that. My favorite card, number 11. On the 1/1 portal, Nancy, 11. You have the diamond and you have radiance. You need to work on that outward shine, right? That illumination that you're giving out to everyone. Share a little bit of your light. Work on casting that out. That is about trust. That is about believing in yourself. That is about like empowered kind of feeling, right? Don't keep it hidden away. Card number 3 is the West card, and the West represents the setting sun in the season of autumn. This card reveals what you are harvesting or gathering. It can also represent what you need to release or clear out of your life. And I keep using the analogy of the closet, right? You know how you go in there and it's a mess. You merge and you purge and you put stuff away and you throw stuff out. You try stuff on and you always stick something in the back of your closet that there isn't a hope in heck that you're ever going to fit into again. But you're holding on to it. It's that whole vibe. You have lightning and a breakthrough. I want you to pay attention to the numerology in these cards, okay? You've got 32, which together equals 5, 2025, right? You've got 11, which is today, the 1/1 portal. And you've got 21, which is like the day and the year, right? If you were looking at it just from a number point of view. The lightning and a breakthrough. This is like an understanding, and this is one of those things that's really hard to word, right? I can't explain a light bulb moment. I can't explain a light switch moment, a faucet turning moment, but this is when you know, you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, and it's just like, oh my God, it's never going to work. And then all of a sudden, one day you go to do it and it does it. And you're like, okay. You don't ever look back. You don't ever question it. And, you know, 3-4 days later, you forget what the problem was in the first place. So as you continue to work through, sort through, using that closet analogy, merge and purge, right? What works for me, what doesn't? What do I like, what don't I like? As you continue to go through that process that we all do, you are going to have one of these light bulb moments, one of these aha moments, as Oprah used to call it. There will be a significant breakthrough, and I don't think it's far away. I don't think it's far away. Card number 4 is the North card. This North card represents the dark of night, which is the season of winter. The card reveals what you need to consolidate or nurture. It's also what you need to repair or heal. And you've got the cloud and imagination. To me, this is about dreaming and not defining myself into a small space, right? Like expand, open yourself up, dream big. What do you want to do? What excites you? What makes you happy? What like inspires you? What are you passionate about, right? There's something that you are doing currently that with imagination and more balance can be this for you, this breakthrough, and then boom, out comes the light, right? Like, think if you found like an old lantern or an old lamp or an old light or something like that, you know, in the garage, in the shed or whatever, and you brought it out and you thought, you know, this is really cool, I really like it, and you spent some time and you cleaned it up, you gave it a paint job, right? Took all the glass out, you washed it, and then you turned it on and it just, like, that's what it feels like to me. There's like been a cycle of like repair and rejuvenation, and then out comes the light. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's how I interpret these cards. Hi, Judith. How are you, my dear? Happy New Year. All right, that was good. I really like that one for you, Nancy. So, anybody else that I have forgotten? I love that, Nancy. I try to every day. 100%, my friend. 100%. Anybody else want a reading? Let me know, and we will do that. If not, Quincy is, I have a little like a desk table thing right beside me here, and Quincy is like trying to figure out how he's going to jump across. You want to come visit, Quince? Hey, what are you doing? Okay. Want to say hi? Hi, baby. See, Quincy's problem is Quincy doesn't like to be held, so it's hard for me to show you guys Quincy. He just wants to like sit on the desk and not really be a problem. But he'll show you his tail, no issues. He's a good boy. All right. Hi, M. Steve. How you doing, love? Happy New Year, my friend. Says, hi, Kelly and all. Been watching the first 10 minutes to see what you're doing today. I can see a challenging year for me this year. Hope I'm wrong if you do a reading with the Guardian deck. Absolutely, my friend. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate you, my friend. I'm glad that the reading makes sense to you. I appreciate you. Judith says that she would love a reading. All right. All right. Let's do it. All right, M. Steve. the Guardian deck. Gotcha. All right, Quincy, can we share the desk? So remember, friends, today is the 1-1 portal. It's all about new beginnings, clean slate, sky's the limit, dream, 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 right? Manifest, manifest, manifest. How's Mom doing, Steve? All right. I keep closing the book on this spread. All right. So card number 1 is the card of the East, right? It is the card that represents the springtime. This card reveals what's beginning in our life and what we need to continue to either work on or explore further. Okay. And again, I'm horrible at the pronunciation of these names. We have the Mermaid of Lemuria and Joy. So I don't want to come across horrible, but you know me, Steve. I can see a challenging year for me this year. Hope I'm wrong. I like the way you put it because I know the intention is there. But joy. Joy is the thing that you need to work on. Joy is the thing that you need to explore. You've got to work especially hard, if this is what you think, moving forward, on finding your joy. Maybe it's the cat that comes and sits, on your lap. Maybe it's Mom had a good day. May not be big or bold, but that's the thing you're going to hold on to, because there's no room for it's going to be a challenge. Every day is a challenge. Every year is a challenge. We can find a challenge if we look hard enough, right? We can't think that way. We're not doing that, right? I don't subscribe to that channel. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that kind of vibe is kind of what I'm feeling from that card. South card represents the sun in summertime. This card reveals what is expanding in your life. So this is what you should be growing towards and working towards. And you have Apollo and divine messages. Lots of things about the divine messages could be literally messages, signs, synchronicities, your dreams, validations, can also be conversations between you and spirit, however that communication happens for you, whether that's in meditation, whether that's in your dreams, whether that's in your like maybe you do automatic writing, your visualization, whatever it is, your prayers, right? Keep that line of communication open and keep asking and keep requesting and keep hearing and keep listening, right? And keep that line of communication open. You're getting answers. You're getting guidance. You're getting feedback. So you must keep those lines of communication open so that you can understand those and implement them, right? West card. The West card represents the setting sun, also the season of autumn. This card represents what you're harvesting or gathering, right? So think about, I keep using the closet analogy. At the season change, we swap out the winter clothes for the summer clothes. We throw stuff out, stick that one pair of jeans back in the closet that we know we're never going to fit into, but we have to just because all of the stuff, maybe go buy some new stuff. It's that kind of concept with this card. You have Pel and light your fire. So to me, this is your passion. This is your warrior. This is your super cape, right? This is like, how do you be the best Steve that you can be, given all of the things that you're facing, all of the challenges, right? This is about being true to yourself, about being kind to yourself, about listening to yourself, about appreciating yourself. And also, there's like, I feel like we should emphasize to not discount or just be like, well, I went to see my mom at the center today, or the hospital today, or I had to take my mom to an appointment or whatever. You spend all of your time there giving of yourself in service to your mom. Now, you may not think that that's odd or strange or peculiar, because you might think that that's what everyone should do, and I agree. I would do the same, but not everyone does. Not everyone can make that kind of time, because they have a job, they have 8 kids, because they don't live close by, whatever the case may be. You've got to appreciate and acknowledge that you are putting this kind of effort into, lifting your mom up and empowering her and encouraging her, and how much weight that has on you and the effect of that weight, right? Because it's not always easy to go in there. I know this from my own personal experience, right? It's not easy to go in there every day filled with positivity and like, yes, okay, woohoo, what are we going to do today? And then you walk out feeling completely drained. So you've got to be kind to yourself. You've got to do things that make you happy to rejuvenate yourself, so you can continue to go in there and do that for your mom, right? So don't forget about you. Constantly looking after yourself. Constantly bringing things towards you that make you feel good, that light you up, that lift you up, right? I don't know what's going on, but we have a situation out there. Rosie's barking, if you can hear. We have the North card. Lastly, the North represents the dark of night and the season of winter. This card reveals what you need to consolidate or nurture. It's also what you need to repair or heal. Okay? And we have Bridget, you are a healer. You see that? You are a healer. I'm not saying that you don't know this. It's not what I'm saying. But this then makes sense if you look at the other cards, right? You go there. You said, she always lifts my spirits. It's like an energy exchange between the two of you. You go there and lift her spirits, and then in return, she lifts your spirits. So you've got to be in tip-top shape, because you have other things that you also have to do in, over and above lifting your mom's spirits, right? And in order for you to give 100% of your energy and your light to your mom, you have to keep yours up. And so you have to feed it. And you're going to feed it by continuing to bring in joy, to listen to the divine, and to continue to light your fire, right? Beautiful reading for you, Steve. In other words, try to always find the joy, the gratitude, the blessings, because that's going to serve you well. That's what I got for you, love. Hope that makes sense. Hope it resonates. And now, hello, Sylvia. How are you? Hello, Teresa. Yay, today I said it right. Happy New Year, everybody. Woohoo. If you got here late and you missed it, I said in the beginning, both my husband and I fell asleep watching TV and we missed the whole darn thing. So anyway, whatever. It is what it is. Judith is up next. And here we go. You're very welcome, Steve. Thank you. Poor Teresa. For the last couple of times that Teresa's come in here, I have called her by the wrong name, because back in my car club days, I used to deal with a friend who owned a company that was very similar to Hugger Greeter's name, and I'm constantly calling her that by the company name. And so, make clean slate, new day, making an effort, Teresa. All right. For Judith, what cards are we going to use for Judith? Okay, I'm going to go with these guys. Judith. What does Judith have coming up for her in 2025? You're very kind to me, Teresa. Thank you so much. Oh, that card jumped. Did you see that? All right, here we go. Judith. So card number 1 is the card that represents the place of the rising sun, so springtime. It is the card that reveals what is beginning in our life, so what we need to start or what we need to continue to explore, right? And we have, what a wonderful card to start your reading for January 1st, which is all about new beginnings and new cycles. The Daffodil Fairy and new beginnings. Now, Judith, I want to say to you that I feel like maybe some sort of an affirmation might be helpful, right? Some sort of a message or a statement or an affirmation, a quote, something that either you repetitively write down daily, that you have it on the fridge, have it in the bathroom, have it in the car, have it at work, that kind of thing. Something that continuously reminds you, something that you can look at, that you can be reminded that, like, today is a great day, right? And I don't know why I feel that, but that's just what I'm getting. Card number 2 is the South card. The South represents the sun and the summertime. This card reveals what is expanding in our life, so what we should be growing and working towards. And we have the Eagle Spirit and Freedom. Okay, so now, I don't know if I'm right, but I feel like this heaviness deep inside you, not necessarily on the outside, but deep inside you. There is something that is like locked in there, and you do a really good job of keeping it where it needs to be. But here's the thing about that. And again, I have no idea if I'm right or not. When we put so much energy into holding on to stuff, to keeping stuff at bay, not freeing it, not working with it, not working through it, all of those kinds of things, not releasing it, it takes more energy than we realize to hold on to that and to pretend like nothing's wrong, right? Kind of idea. So this freedom and this new beginnings is about just like, whatever it is that doesn't serve me, I'm not interested. Send it out into the universe, release it. You don't need to carry that weight around anymore, and open yourself up to opportunities. I found this little thing on Canva the other day when I was making a thumbnail for the show that I did last on Monday with Ivana, and it said 365 days equals 365 possibilities. And sometimes it's just looking at something that way that is enough to shift you into the positive, as opposed to maybe not so positive. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting, right? The West card. The West card represents the setting sun and also the season of autumn. This card reveals what you're harvesting or gathering. It can also represent what you need to release or clutter out or clear out of your life. And again, I use the closet analogy, right? Cleaning the closet. We have it's hard to see here, the spirit guardian of spring and activation. So far, all of these cards are going in sync with each other, right? We have decided today is my day. Today is the day when I start new beginning, fresh, clean slate. Because I want to feel free. I want to have no limitations. I want to be able to soar as high as I want to carry myself, right? And in order for me to do that, I have to take inspired action. That's the activation. I have to put a plan into motion, right? What do I want? What do I need? What do I like to do? All of those kinds of ideas. That's what the activation is. It's inspired action. And what's the difference between action and inspired action? Well, action is what you do. Inspired action is the feeling that motivates the action, right? North card. The North card represents the dark of night, which is the winter time. This card reveals what you need to consolidate or nurture, so what you need to embrace, or what you need to repair or heal. And you have the Bluebell Fairy and Gratitude. Look at that card. It's glorious. The Bluebell Fairy and Gratitude. This feeling of, excuse me, joy and gratitude, of blessings, of appreciation, of understanding. It's very hopeful to me. I say at the beginning of my daily readings that I hope that the reading, provides you with some pep in your step. And I feel that with those cards, there's some pep in your step that is being looked for, right? Like you are seeking it out. You may not realize it. Think about when you go to the hairdresser and you leave and you're like, oh my God, look at me. I need to go somewhere. Where can I go? Right? It's that kind of energy that I'm feeling from your cards. And so I really want you to adopt that. So positive affirmations around the house, journal, keep writing it. Or, when you go to leave the house, wink at yourself in the mirror and be like, you got this, girl. Have a good day. Something as simple as that can make all the difference in the world, right? That's what I got for you. I think this has been going to be a really, really good year for you. I think you're going to find a lot of joy and a lot of things that you're about to discover that bring you joy. I would encourage you to also write a list of all the things that you want to do, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. You want to take a class, you want to paint something, you want to cook something, you want to write something. Explore some of those, right? Because all of those things will help to help you figure out what brings you joy, what makes you happy. Yay! Boom, boom. So, friends, if nobody else wants a reading, I say we end this and get on with our day. Oh, it is so cold here, you guys. Well, it's not so cold. It's getting cold. It's been really, really mild, and now it's getting colder again. And we have yet another warning in effect for the weather. Another 30 centimeters of snow coming. Yay. So there's that to look forward to. Yep. We do love our snow here in Canada. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's my husband and I bought tickets to go and do something, and we can't ever seem to get going because every time we decide we're gonna, like, okay, we'll go on Tuesday. Whoops, sorry, weather warning, can't do it. It's just like, really? Because everything we do we have to drive there because we live in the middle of nowhere. And anyway, we'll figure it out. We have till Saturday to take advantage of the tickets that we purchased. And I was going to live stream it. I actually put a thumbnail up and I was going to live stream it on Boxing Day. But I found out that there's some kind of, I don't really understand it. I'm going to have to go there and figure it out. But there's some sort of like interactive radio music thing that's, that sort of like corresponds with what you're doing. And I don't know what that means or how that works. I don't know if I have to play the music, because if I have to play the music, then I can't do that probably, but I don't know until I hear it. So I can't do that live is my point. Otherwise, I was taking you guys with me because I thought it was going to be really fun. It's like a light show, Christmas light show, but you drive through it. And I thought it would be really fun, but if there's music that could be like a copyright thing, I can't do that, right? So, and if you have to listen to it to be able to, like maybe they're telling you, like how this came to be or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know enough about it, and I can't find enough out about it. So, anyways, that's what our tickets are for. So we're waiting for the weather to cooperate so we can go and do that. And then I will share it with you guys once I get back. I don't actually know where it is, but it's not in Toronto. It's like Barrie, Ontario-ish, somewhere. Hi, Vicky. Never late, my friend. Never late. I'm just glad that you're here. And thank you again for joining the membership. Yes, friends, I should mention, if anyone is interested in joining the Dozen Cats membership program, it is $2.99 a month. The join button is right beneath this video on your screen next to the Dozen Cats name. You can hit that join button and it'll tell you, all that you get with it. And I appreciate the support, of course. Thank you again to all of the people that gave super stickers or super chats. I really, 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 truly appreciate all of you and the support. That is phenomenal. And regularly scheduled programming, while I have you guys, and I'm thinking of this, regularly scheduled programming will return like next Sunday, when we have like a full week. So there'll be a live on Sunday night at 7 p.m., which is the Zodiacs with Abana, and then we will go through the week. And I'm going to try to come on Sunday nights and maybe Wednesdays during the daytime. So I give some at night and some during the daytime. I enjoy doing the daytimes. It's just, it's not always doable. But the daytime I do enjoy because I get to see people that I don't normally get to see. So that's fun. That is fun. So, Happy New Year to everybody. Did you guys do anything exciting? Did you watch anything on TV? I didn't watch my movie. I watched a movie, but not the movie. I always used to watch The Bells of St. Mary with my aunt, who is no longer here. And I tried to keep that tradition up, but I fell asleep last night. I fell asleep. My husband fell asleep. Both of us missed New Year's. We didn't say Happy New Year to each other because he woke up and went to bed, and I woke up and went to bed. Just like... Anyway. Whatever. Whatever. What can you do, right, friends? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Vicky. Yeah, they were shooting firecrackers off here last night at, like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was less than pleased. I don't personally care. It doesn't bother me, but the animals freak out. So, especially the cats. Ooh, sorry. Excuse me. The cats really are not fans of it. It didn't last for a long time, so it's okay. It's what happens when you live, again, in the middle of nowhere, right? Um, like that really wouldn't happen in like the city where people would be letting firecrackers or fireworks off. Um, Here they do it because it's Wednesday. They don't like. There doesn't seem to be a there doesn't need to be a reason. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Chloe doesn't like it either. She gets on my lap. Oh, you have a little Maltese Yorkie? Aw. We have our puppy Rosie. Well, she's not a puppy anymore. I still call her a puppy, but um she's part Maltese, part poodle, part something. We got her from the shelter. I don't quite know what she is. I think she's Maltese and poodle. Oh, oh. Excuse me, sorry. And she is still um, very nervous about a lot of like sounds, right? And one of my cats is still really nervous. Part whatever jumped the fence. Yep. I one of my cats is still really quite nervous as well. Um, Still very like every time the plow goes down the road, or firecrackers, a motorcycle goes off, dog barks, she takes off. And all my animals are from shelters, so we don't know what they went through when and before we got them. It breaks my heart, that they're still affected by these things, right? Sad. Very, very sad. Very sad. So I'm gonna let you guys go, as I don't have much else to say. Oh, Chloe was a rescue too. Yeah. Do I have anybody here? Oh, yes, I do. Look, I have a Quincy. He's on standby. Right? Hi, Quince. He's mad because I'm like, sorry, I can't read with you on the desk. So when I first started using, sitting back here and had Quincy would sit in my lap. And that just became hard. It's hard sitting with, a 8-pound cat on your lap. Anyway, he's recently taken to laying on the desk in a way that he wants to lay his body over one of my arms, which makes it increasingly difficult to shuffle and to read. So, and he's a long cat. Like, he's not a big cat, but he's long. So when he stretches out, he takes the whole desk. So no, he's not impressed at all. As soon as I turn this camera off, he will be over here laying across me. Well, not across me, but across my desk, over one arm. That's how he rolls. That's what he likes. He is the funniest cat. He likes to cuddle, but on his terms. You're not allowed to touch him. He wants to lay mostly on your legs, like if you're sitting on a chair or whatever, he wants to lay on your legs. And he likes to bite when he's really happy. So, you're sitting there and everything's fine. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, ouch. Like little nibbles. And he loves when he's really happy. He will be laying there with you, and then he'll just like jump up and leave, and then he'll come back with a toy, usually a ball, and he wants you to play with him. So Charlotte is very weird. She doesn't want to lay with you. She doesn't want to be cuddled. Don't hold on to me. Don't touch me. Unless like all cats, like unless I initiate it. So she will come when I'm out in the living room, and she will sit on the edge of my chair. And then I have to like do this whole thing where I'm like, come on, come and sit on my lap. Like we go through this for 5 minutes. Come on. Right. And then she gets on my lap. She wants to be like head down, like so her head's towards my knee. I have to take a blanket and put it over her, not all the way, but halfway. And I have to like scratch right here for like 2 minutes, and then she like freaks out and leaves. And she will continue to do that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's like so bizarre to me. But anyway, whatever. If I'm here and the camera's on, very rarely does Charlotte ever come to visit. But if I'm sitting here, like, doing work on the computer or whatever, and especially if I have food, she will be sitting right here, like right here, right where my hand is, on the arm of this chair, staring at me. Like, are you going to share that? She loves to watch me play on my phone, though. Like, if I'm playing a game on my phone, she loves that. She thinks that is the cat's meow. And then Austin is like independent, but he's so easygoing. He is so sweet and gentle. And I mean, he likes to cuddle when he wants to cuddle, and he's okay with it. Oftentimes Austin sits like behind me. So like not on this chair, but like behind me. So if I'm laying in bed, he is like above my pillow, or out in the living room, he's at the back of the chair behind my head. No, he's just a big old purr monster. He just wants to sit like with you, near you, right? He's just very, very kind. Hi, Kristen. Happy New Year, my friend. Judith says, my rescue cat, I found her under my car as a kitten, talks to me all the time, laugh out loud. I can't even hide in the bathroom to get away from her talking. My brother thinks it's cute. You're used to it, yeah. Or you used to. No. I mean, it's amazing to me. Like, I go in the bathroom and they all come out. And Charlotte yells. She doesn't talk, she screams. Usually at the worst moment. So, like 4 a.m, because she has decided that she is going to get up, and she will go to the living room, and she will just meow until someone comes. Like, I'm up, do something. and you have to call her and beg her to come, and, or sometimes even go get her. Like, what's the problem? What's wrong? So. You know how like when you were younger, and I don't know if you guys ever did this, but you call out to your parent and they would say, what, or yes, or whatever. They would respond, but you wouldn't answer. And then they'd have to finally come and find you to see what it is that you wanted. That's Charlotte. Charlotte wants you to come to her not the other way around. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Kristen, for that. My cat, Virginia, that we had for 15 years, um, used to do that. She would sit in my purse or on my shoes. She was a funny cat too. All the cats are funny. They all have their thing, right? She wouldn't. You know how you have like thresholds, so like one flooring type to another, and you have like a threshold, like carpet to tile or hardwood to tile or whatever. She wouldn't cross over those thresholds. She would sit on the other side of those thresholds. It's the weirdest thing. Hi, Rose. Happy New Year, my friend. Maria, sorry. You said, may I ask how one can see how many children I will have? You're 32 years old. You don't have kids yet. I mean, there's lots of ways that you could ask that. I just don't know that I would trust that it was accurate. Right? I think that's more of a involved kind of question, meaning that there's more to it than just a very simple answer, right? But I tell you what, I am going to do a show coming up. I don't know when. I call it a show, stream, whatever. Using the dowsing rods, where you guys can ask yes or no questions. So I'm not really in the prediction business. You saw 1111 on the phone, an angel number. Wow, on the first day of the year. I love that. You know what that means, don't you? I mean, today is all about new beginnings, right? That is what the 1-1 portal energy is. And 11 as a master number is also about new beginnings. So Christian, it's the angel message to you that is an opportune moment for you to use your energy to communicate with spirit. Is how I understand it to be when you see 1111 or 111 as an angel number, right? And so what I do is, I mean, because you guys know, y'all know the story, you probably know it like verbatim because I've told you so many times, but because I see it so often and have done for so many years, I try to, like when I see it, I try to remember what it was that I was thinking about when I saw it. And then sometimes I will write it down, right? Like if it's a convoluted kind of thought, right? I'll try to write it down. Because there's usually a method to the madness, right? There's usually a reason why they have chosen that moment to share that with you. I sort of take it as oftentimes like a confirmation that like whatever I was thinking is, yes, I should do that, right? Or I need to think about that more or whatever. It's so hard for me to meditate. Honestly, meditation is just like not my friend. And it's not because I can't meditate. It's because I have such difficulty turning my mind off, and I get inside my head about I have to turn my mind off, and then I'm so focused on turning my mind off that I'm not concentrating or focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing. And so it requires a whole lot of energy on my part, and I'm just like, it's not worth it. And what I mean by that is I feel like I can achieve the same thing or the same idea, the same concept of what I want to achieve during a meditation if I visualize. And visualize works for me with my anxiety. So I do that instead of, right? But there's lots of different ways to, to get yourself in a clear mind, clear thinking state. Some people just burn a candle and look at the candle, right? Other people, put themselves in a mode. Some people look at a fire. There's lots of things that you can do. Some people do it by breathing. You have to find what works for you, because I think the idea of turn your mind off, it is difficult for many people, myself included. In November, when everyone else seemed to be saying 11/11, I didn't. But then just after Christmas, I saw it everywhere. Receipts, statements, tickets. Yeah. I've seen. So here's the story about 11/11. I'm gonna light a cigarette and I'll tell you guys about 11/11 if you want to know. So back in 2004, my grandmother, my Nana, got sick and was hospitalized, and it was it was dire, right? She was on her last legs, and I started seeing 11/11. Every time I looked at the clock, it was 11/11 or 1/11. And this one particular day, my sister called me, and I happened to live really close to the hospital, and all of my family lived, within driving distance to the hospital, with the exception of 2 aunts. And anyway, so this one day, my sister calls, and she said, I'm at the hospital. Nana really doesn't look good, and I'm nervous, right? About being here on my own. Nobody's here yet, like meaning the aunts, right? And I said, all right. I was in the middle of cleaning my house, you guys. I was sweaty. I was smelly. And I just threw a t-shirt on and shoved my hair in a ponytail, and I ran over to the hospital as fast as I could. And I went into the room, and there was nobody there. And I don't like hospitals, right? But I did what I needed to do. I went into the hospital, and my Nana was there. And, I was like, hi, how are you? Whatever. And I was trying to hide the concern on my face. I should never play poker because I do not have a face that hides anything. And I was trying to hide that concern from her. Anyways, talk. And then all of a sudden she drifted into something. She went somewhere, and there was nothing wrong. There was no dementia or anything with my grandmother, right? She was 92 years old, and she was as functioning could be. And she just looked over at the clock, which happened to be on the wall behind me, but beside me, not directly behind me. And so I sort of turned around to see what she was looking at. She was looking at the clock, and she said, "What time is it?" Because they're coming. And I don't remember what the time was, because I was stopped by what she said when she said they're coming. And I was like, who's coming? And she said, they told me they're going to be here. And I was like, what? So there's that stands out in my mind now, that there was something about the clock that I did not pay attention to, right? So a couple of weeks later, my Nana passes at home, my house, and my Aunt Carol, my grandmother's daughter, is with me. My Aunt Carol is Down syndrome, and is my favorite person in the whole entire world. And the phone rang, and I answered the phone, and I was told that my grandmother passed, but I wasn't allowed to tell my aunt because her sisters wanted to tell her. So I had to get Aunt Carol ready and take her back to Nana's house so that all of her sisters could then sit with her and tell her together. And that was a really difficult moment. So I had to try to, be like, everything's fine. And in the aftermath of that day, I said to my mother, this may sound like a really not cool question, but you called me at 1:15. What time did Nana die? I need you to know. I need you to find out. My mom was like, you're nuts. I'm like, I need you to tell me. Because in my mind, I'm convinced it's got to be, there's something there, right? There's some sort of coordination, or there's some kind of dots leading to each other. Anyway, moving on. I never find out when Nana dies. Like a year and a bit later, I'm at my mom's house. We're walking down the street. We were coming back from the store, and in my mom's neighborhood, they all sit in my garages. It's very weird. I don't know why. Like, sit on your front porch, sit in the back deck, whatever. But nope, they sit in their garages. And there's two neighbors sitting together in one neighbor's garage. They're like, come on over. So, my mother opens up a beer and they're all chatting away. I'm drinking a pop because I don't drink alcohol. And one of the neighbors starts saying how her brother died at whatever time it was, and she wakes up all the time at this time. When she looks at the clock, every time it's this time, which was the time that her brother died. And all of a sudden, my mom's a believer because someone else said it, right? My mom looks at me and she's like, tell him your story, and I'm like, okay. So I tell my story. And after that, I was like, okay, so I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy. I'm not losing my mind, because I wasn't spiritual. I didn't understand any of it. Didn't make sense of any of it. So I decided I'll look it up on the internet. I mean, because that's what we do, right? So I go to the internet, and because I'm not spiritually minded, this is what I read. You see 1111 or 111, it means your window of opportunity is open. And I'm like, okay, great. I don't know what that means. So I tell my mom, and my mom's like, whatever, like, who cares, right? So I go about my business, and I don't think anything of it. And that was 2004. In 2012, when my mother is fighting for her life, we're going to the hospital, and every member of my family is like, shut up. Because I'm like, it's 6:11, it's 4:11, it's 1:11, it's 10:11, it's 9:11, whatever, 11, 11:11, 1:11. They're like, we get it. You see 1:11. No one cares because nobody gets it. I'm like, okay, so we won't tell those people. My mother died shortly after 1 p.m. And then my sister gifted me a private reading from a medium not within this community, not here on the internet or on YouTube. And the moral to the story is my mother always thought like I'm, I've dreamed this up. Like, I've seen 111 3 times, and all of a sudden I think I'm seeing it every day, all the time, right? And when the reading was just about to be over, the lady put her finger up and said, I'm sorry, but if this is what I'm being told to do. She said, and you don't question, it's me when you see 11:11. And I almost fell off my chair. And so from that point forward, every time I seen 11:11 or 1:11, I will say, and you guys have heard me many times say, thank you, Mommy, I love you, and I miss you. Because of that reading, I now know that my mother is directly communicating with me, or that's how I want to look at it. Now, for, to tie this all up in a lovely bow. So, my mother died in 2012, and unfortunately, for circumstances that I'm not going to get into, we were not able to lay my mother to rest despite her wishes until 2021. And the night before that little service that we did, just my sister and I and her husband and my husband and my sister's daughters, we decided to do a little thing. And I wrote some stuff to say. And I decided to go in increments of time. And I said, how many days, how many weeks, how many years, in different paragraphs. That's how I mentioned it or how I started it. The very last thing I said was, as I calculated it in, my good friend Google, 111 months is how long we waited. Makes me cry every time. And when I Googled that and I saw 111 months, the question that, did we do the right thing? Is this what she wanted? I knew instantly that it was. And I mean, a confirmation from the angels themselves, right? And I will never forget that. Like that moment, that seeing that, looking at that, going, what? Is that true? How? Why? And so, if you question, like, what does that mean? I see these synchronicities all the time. I don't understand these numbers. I'm not saying believe it because I believe it. I'm saying that's my experience with it. I don't know what all of it means. I don't know if all of it is connected, but I have chosen to believe that it is all connected and that it was all for a reason. I don't know what the reason is, and I don't need to know. I just know that when I see 111, when I see 1111, that it is a message to me that I am embraced, that I am protected, that I am guided, that I am loved, and that's how I take it. So I share that with you guys because if you look at the clock and you're like, or whatever, you see these numbers, you don't really get it. It doesn't always make sense, but there could be something that you will figure out in time. It means something. And it's very odd. Like my birthday is the 11th. I am a master number. So, like at first I would laugh it off and think, because my birthday's the 11th. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, don't question it. And I say this not because I want you to believe it, but because this is how I see it. And I'm only sharing this with you because why not? It doesn't cost me anything to believe. It makes me happy and it brings me joy and complete comfort to know that my mother is with me, that she's here, she's watching over me, guiding me, protecting me. Nothing fills me with more joy because honestly, I give my right arm to be able to talk to her or to hug her again, right? And I can't. So if this is her way and my way of communicating with each other, just to let me know, I got you. I mean, I'm here for it all day, every day. So that's why I'm sharing that with you guys. And what's really interesting is now my nieces have started to see, specifically, I'm not saying that they don't, but specifically Madison, the oldest, she is, I think, very intuitive. And she has been seeing 1111 for many, many years. So, oh, you lost your mom in 2012 too, Vicky. I'm very sorry for your loss. It's so difficult. I mean, losing your mother. The day my mom died, I found out the next day that my father was terminal. it was a tough couple of years there, friends. It was tough a couple of years. Anyways, I've got to go. And I didn't mean to bring the group down. I just wanted to share the significance of what those angel numbers can mean. They mean something different for everybody. Of course, you can look it up on the internet to get an idea of what they all mean, right? Like 222 means something, and 333 means something, and 444 means something. But if it means something to you, it's like if you see a feather, if you see a dime, if you hear a song and it puts you in a certain moment or takes you to a certain place, that's the thing that you should hold on to because it makes you feel a certain way. I think that that's important to honor your feelings, right? Great chat, ladies. It is so nice just to chat and share with you all. Oh, thank you. Your soul is still hot. Oh, blessings, Judith. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Happy New Year. Remember, today is not over, right? The energy from the 1-1 portal lasts a couple days before and after. So, new start, fresh slate, new beginnings. Dare to dream is what I'm going to say, right? I think that this year, 2025, as I said before, start within, work on yourself, be the best that you can be so that you can go out in the world and therefore handle the chaos and the confusion and all of that stuff in a way that is with grace and with dignity and by continuing to shine your light, right? That's what I'm going to do. So I will be back on Sunday night, next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do the Zodiac readings, and that's when the regular scheduled programming will kick into place. And then I will try to come on the Wednesdays during the daytime. And there's some things already posted up on the channel. And, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for your love, for your kindness. Last year, and as we move into 2025, I'm looking at doing all kinds of exciting things, and I'm just really, really appreciative of each and every one of you. It doesn't work without you, so I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And with that being said, Happy New Year. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves, and thank you again to everybody for the super stickers, the thumbs up. Just I'm overwhelmed by the support. Truly, I am. I love you guys, and I wish you many blessings. Bye, everybody.